Welcome back, traders, to our last part of our Charting 101 Week 1 live presentation. I am FX Techno, and we're going to go in just a few more reviews of the trend lines, the alarms, and then at the end of that, I'll take any questions that you have. It can be related to what we covered today, or even any of the advanced features that you may have a question about. So let's take a look at our trend line alarm. We're going to go over more of this in the Week 2 class. When I go and draw my trend line, let me go back and look at the trend. I'm going to compress my chart, and we can see the market's working in a downtrend, making lower highs and lower lows. So what I'm going to do on here is start from the wick high and stretch and drag this out and just slowly bring it down to the bottom here until it hits a wick, which it did right there. As long as the market is making lower lows, we are able to adjust our trend line just like this. So now that I have my trend line in place on this Euro-Aussie 4-hour chart, if I right click and choose extend, that's going to extend my trend line out indefinitely. So now that I've done this, I can then go back and right click, and it gives me a new option. It gives me an alarm option on here. So when I select the alarm, I get two options to choose from on here. One alarm is on close past line. The other alarm is on penetration. Now when I'm using this trend line alarm, I will typically have this set up for on close past line. Because a lot of times the market will hit our trend line, test our trend line during its time frame, only to go right back below it if it's moving in a downtrend. Now, if you have it on penetration, what that means is as soon as any part of the candle hits your trend line, it's instantly going to trigger the alarm. Now, the on penetration, we would have to have the alarm go off. Well, actually, on close past line, we'd have to have the alarm, the candle breaking through our trend line, and close through our trend line in order for the alarm to go off. Now, having that on there is nice to have, because if the market is reversing or we have a trend line break, an alarm will go off, and then we can click right on the little alarm window, clicking on Go To Chart, and that's going to show us what exactly is going on in the chart. It's a nice feature to use. We're basically using technology here to our advantage, so that way we don't have to constantly monitor a specific chart if we're awaiting a specific setup. Now, I also mentioned I was going to tell you how to clone a chart. To clone a chart on here, all you have to do is right-click anywhere on the chart, as long as you're not right-clicking on a candle, and then you're going to select Chart, all the way down here towards the bottom. Now, once I select Chart, the last option at the bottom says Make a Copy. So when it says Make a Copy, I'm going to click on that. And what this did is it made an exact copy of my 4-hour chart, keeping my analysis and everything on that chart. So now I should have two charts of the same, two Euro-Aussie charts, which I do. Here's one, and here's the other. They're identical charts, two identical charts. They both have the trend lines on them. And cloning a chart is good if you have a nice analysis, then you want to just take a look at the same chart by trying something else, and you don't want to erase the analysis that you already have on there. You can do so by doing the Make a Copy option, which I just refer to as cloning a chart. So at this time, I want to open up the floor to you traders. If you have any questions on how to do something on your charts, something I didn't cover here, something advanced, intermediate, something beginner, feel free to go ahead and type that in at this time. If you were watching this as a recording, this class takes place live every Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and it is a 3-week class.